Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
We begin with breaking news. The Bemidji Police Department is asking for the public's help in locating 16-year-old LaKaylee Kingbird. Police say Kingbird was last seen around 11:30 Saturday night. Officials believe LaKaylee left the area voluntarily. LaKaylee has brown eyes, brown hair, 5'3", and weighs approximately 125 pounds. She was also last seen wearing a gray Minnesota Vikings sweatshirt and white tennis shoes. Anyone with information regarding LaKaylee's whereabouts are asked to call the Bemidji Police Department. The number is provided on the bottom of our screen. Well, new for you at noon, authorities in Otter Tail County say someone broke into a church and stole money from several lockboxes throughout the church. Officials believe it happened sometime between September 5th and 9th. Authorities say approximately $250 was stolen from different lockboxes in the church office and sanctuary. Officials say the individual also caused damage to inside of the church. Also new for you at noon, 2 teenagers are recovering following a rollover accident in Otter Tail County over the weekend. The Otter Tail County Sheriff's Office received a report of a recreational utility terrain vehicle accident on private property at around 5 Sunday evening. When officials arrived at the scene, they found the teenagers with the UTV. One was airlifted to St. Cloud while the other was transported to Tri-County Hospital in Winona. Neither teen sustained life-threatening injuries, although seatbelts and helmets were not worn at the time of the crash. Well, wildfires in the western part of the U.S. are causing hazy smoke that we're starting to even see here. Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Yeah, that started up again this weekend, and it's been hanging around here through the morning. We're looking to the south and east, and you could see what would typically be a blue sky. Doesn't quite look blue, does it? We're looking at some hazy conditions. Now, if I were to turn the camera to the north, it would look a lot more blue. So it depends on where you are in the valley, how you're being impacted. Here's a look at our hourly planner. Again, we can expect to see some of this smoke hanging around. Temperatures may be impacted by it in some spots, but overall, we're looking at some warming continuing into the afternoon. Wind out of the south or southeast, some gusts into the teens, and maybe some 20s at times, and temperatures again rising into the 70s. Here's a look at the latest cloud cover. You can see that there are some clouds into the north and west of us, but otherwise it's been pretty quiet here to start off our afternoon. Temperatures right now in the 50s and 60s. It's 62 degrees currently in Fargo, 60 in Grand Forks, still in the upper 50s in many parts of northwest Minnesota and up in the Devil's Lake Basin. But we're warming things up, and we'll continue to see those temperatures rise as we head into the day on Tuesday. So we're going to talk about that and how long this will last coming up in just a few minutes.
I don't mind those summer-like temperatures coming back because it does feel pretty nice. Thanks again, Lisa. Well, police are looking for the driver who hit and killed a man on a Minnesota highway. The State Patrol says it happened around 6 yesterday morning on Highway 25 in Little Falls. They say 40-year-old Joseph Harold of Pierce, Minnesota, was walking on the road when he was hit. Troopers say it was dark and foggy at the time. Let's take a look at the COVID-19 numbers. In Minnesota, health officials are reporting 643 new cases of COVID-19, along with 3 new deaths linked to the illness. More than 1,900 deaths have been attributed to the disease, and more than 78,000 people have recovered. In North Dakota, there are 255 new cases, along with 2 more deaths. The death toll now sits at 170, and the active case count is more than 2,758. Detroit Lakes High School shuts down today after someone there just tested positive for COVID-19. The school district is switching to online learning starting tomorrow, but the superintendent says teachers who've been in the classroom so far this year need today to make the switch to distance learning. The state health department notified Detroit Lakes officials over the weekend that the person who's infected was in the school last Wednesday and Thursday. Close contacts have been identified and have been notified individually. DL school officials say the risk of exposure for other individuals present in the building on these dates is no greater than the risk of contracting the virus in the general community. High school students will move to full distance learning until September 25th. As a result of the switch, high school activities will also be moved to virtual only. Coaches will be reaching out to athletes this week with more information. Elementary students will still be in person, and middle school students will continue to be in a hybrid model. Kendrick Public Schools officials say both middle and high school students are moving to online learning due to COVID exposure. In an email sent to students and parents Sunday evening, there are currently 5 positive COVID-19 cases in high school and a large amount of close contacts of the virus. Officials say classes for the next 2 weeks will run on their normal schedule, and students are expected to attend just like they were in school via Microsoft Teams. All extra and co-curricular activities are also suspended at this time, and Kendrick Elementary will continue with face-to-face instruction this week as they only have 3 confirmed positive COVID-19 cases. Now, officials say they hope to have all students back on Kendrick's campus by September 28th. Breaking the rules, President Trump held a large indoor rally in Nevada last night, despite the state's ban on meeting over 50 people. Tracy Potts is live this morning to show us what happened inside that rally, plus the latest fallout from the new book claiming President Trump knew a lot more about the coronavirus than he told the public.
President Trump before a large indoor crowd in Nevada last night with little social distancing and few masks, calling on Joe Biden to take a drug test before their first debate this month.
Because we don't want to have a situation like we could have with this guy.
The president did not talk about his 18 interviews for Bob Woodward's new book, Rage. Live on the Today Show this morning, Woodward explained the timeline of when he learned the president knew more than he was telling the public.
In May, 3 months later, I learned the key piece of evidence that on January 28th, 10 days before that February call, the president was warned by his national security advisor in a top secret meeting that the virus is going to be the greatest national security threat to your presidency.
He is more concerned with protecting himself than protecting the American people.
The head of the Republican Party defending their nominee.
What would it mean if the president came out and said the sky is falling and everybody should be panicked? He presented calm and a steady hand and a plan, and that is what a president should do.
Drug companies and medical experts say while we may know next month if a vaccine works, it'll be early to mid next year before it's widely available.
Back on the campaign trail, Joe Biden and his wife Jill vote in Delaware's primary elections today. Well, coming up at noon, we take a look at some issues that may occur while kids are going to school from home. Plus, hazy weather is in our forecast for today. Weather up next to plan your day.